Welcome to the stream, guys. Today we're reading in Genesis 37 and 38. Yeah. I wish to go stream horizontally. That'd be cool. Alright. Joseph dreams of greatness. Alright, here we go. Now Jacob dwelt in the land where his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. This is the history of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father. His father's wives and Joseph brought a bad report of them to his father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. Also he made him a tunic of many colors. Hey, God bless you too, bro. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. Now Joseph had a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. So he said to them, "Please hear this dream which I have dreamed. There we were, biting sheaves in the field. Then behold, my sheaf rose and also stood upright, and indeed your sheaves stood all round and bowed down to my sheaf." And his brothers said to him, "Shall you indeed reign over us, or shall you indeed have dominion over us?" Dreams for his dreams and for his words. Then he dreamed still another dream, and told it to his brothers, and said, "Look, I have dreamed another dream, and this time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me." So he told it to his father and his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall your mother and I and your brothers indeed come to bow down to the earth before you?" And his brothers envied him, but his father kept the matter in his mind. Joseph sold by his brothers. Then his brothers went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, Are not your brothers feeding the flock in Shechem? Come, I will send you to them. So he said to him, Here I am. Then he said to him, Please go and see if it is well with your brothers and well with the flocks, and bring back word to me. So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he went to Shechem. Now a certain man found him, and there he was, wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What are you seeking? So he said, I am seeking my brothers. Please tell me where they are feeding their flocks. And the man said, They have departed from here, for I heard them say, Let us go down to Dothan. Or let us go to Dothan. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. Now when they saw him afar off, even before he came near them, they conspired against him to kill him. Then they said to one another, Look, this dreamer is coming. Come therefore, let us now kill him, and cast him into some pit. And we shall say, Some wild beast has devoured him. we shall see what will become of his dreams. But Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, Let us not kill him. And Reuben said to them, Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit which is in the wilderness, and do not lay a hand on him, that he might deliver him out of their hands, and bring him back to his father. So it came to pass, when Joseph had come to his brothers, that they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the tunic of many colors that was on him. Then they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat a meal. Then they lifted their eyes and looked, and there was a company of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead with their camels, bearing spices, balm, and myrrh, on their way to carry them down to Egypt. So Judah said to his brothers, What profit is there if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him. For he is our brother and our flesh. And his brothers listened. Then Midianite traders passed by, so the brothers pulled Joseph up and lifted him up out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver, and they took Joseph to Egypt. Hello, welcome to the Bible study stream. I'm in Genesis right now. Verse 29. Then Reuben returned to the pit, and indeed Joseph was not in the pit, and he tore his clothes, and returned to his brothers, and said, The lad is no more, and where shall I go? So they took Joseph's tunic, killed a kid of the goats, and dipped the tunic in the blood. Then they sent the tunic of many colors. And they brought it to their father and said, We have found this. Do you know whether it was your son's tunic or not? And he recognized it and said, It is my son's tunic. A wild beast has devoured him. Without a doubt, Joseph is torn to pieces. Then Jacob tore his clothes, put sackcloth on his waist, and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters arose to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I shall go down into the grave to my son, mourning. Thus his father wept for him. Now the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and captain of the guard. Okay, now we're on chapter 38. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Please like. Well, does it look like I'm okay? I'm reading the Bible. Judah and Tamar, chapter 38. Thank you. Alright, chapter 38 in Genesis. Thank you, bro. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't. I'm basically reading in the book of Genesis. That's alright. If you want, we could chat later, or you can listen to the Bible as I read. Because I read the Bible here on live streaming, it's what I do. And then after this, I'm going to Matthew. Judah and Tamar. It came to pass at the time that Judah departed from his brothers and visited a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hirah, and Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Hinnite whose name was Shua, and she married her and went into her. So she conceived and bore a son, and he called his name She conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. And then she conceived yet again and bore a son, and called his name Shelah. He was at Shezib when she was born. Oh, nice. I'm in Genesis 38 if you want to follow along. I have the New King James Version. This is the one I have right now. I'm in chapter 38, verse 6. All right. The Judah took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him. And Judah said to Onan, "Go into your mother's brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up an heir to your brother." But Onan knew that the heir would not be his, and it came to pass when he went into his brother's wife that he enmied on the ground, lest he should give an heir to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Therefore he killed him also. My real name is Riley. That's just my channel name. Now, right, where am I? I lost it. Oh yeah, then, wait, oh yeah, right. Lest he should give an heir to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Man, I'm losing it. I gotta use my finger to watch where I'm reading. Oh yeah. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, therefore he killed him also. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, "Remain a widow in your father's house till my son Shelah is grown." For he said, "Lest he also die like his brothers." Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. Now in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died, and Judah was comforted and went up to his sheep shears at Timnah, he and his friend Hira the Adullamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, "Look, your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear his sheep." So she took off her widow's garment, covered herself in a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place which was on the way to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given to him as a wife. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a harlot, because she had covered her face. Then he turned to her by the way and said, "Please let me come into you," for he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. So she said, "What will you give me, that you may come into me?" And he said, "I will send a young goat from the flock." So she said, "Will you give me a pledge till you send it?" Then he said, "What pledge shall I give you?" So she said, "Your signet and cord, and your staff that is in your hand." Then he gave them to her, and went into her, and she conceived by him. So she arose and went away, and laid aside her veil, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the young goat by the hand of his friend the Adullamite to receive his plague from the woman's hand, but he did not find her. Then he asked the man of that place, saying, "Where is the harlot who was openly by the roadside?" And they said, there was no harlot in this place. So he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. Also the men of the place said, there was no harlot in this place. Then Judah said, let her take them for herself, lest it be blamed, for I sent this young goat, and you have not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after that Judah was told, saying, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has played the harlot. Furthermore, she is with child by harlotry. So Judah said, bring her out, and let her be burned. When she was brought out, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the men to whom these belong, I am with child. And she said, please determine who these are, the signet and the cord and staff. And Judah acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than I, because I did not give her to Shelah my son, and she never knew her again. Now it came to pass at the time for giving birth that, behold, twins were in her womb. And so it was, when she was giving birth, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took a scarlet thread and bound it on his hand, saying, this one came out first. And it happened, as he drew back his hand, that his brother came out unexpectedly. And she said, how did you break through? This breach be upon you. Therefore his name was called Perez. Afterward his brother came out, who had the scarlet thread on his hand, and his name was called Zerah. If you're new here, please like the stream. All right, we're going to go to Matthew now. And then after book reading, we are going to do the hand pan. And then if I feel well tonight, I'll play World of Tanks for fun. Or something like that. We'll see. I'll have to set things up again, because, you know, I'm going to put something up here. I'm putting up a I'm trying to put something up. I'll try to respond, but we'll see. There we go. What are you trying to say? Now we're on 21 and 22. The triumphal entry. Hello. Welcome to the stream for those who are new. Alright, I'm going to read now. Chapter 21. Now when they drew near Jerusalem and came to Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, then Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, Go into the village opposite you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them to me. And if anyone says anything to you, you shall say, the Lord has need of them, and immediately he will send them. All this was done that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, Tell the daughter of Zion, behold, your king is coming to you, lowly and sitting on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey. So the disciples went and did as Jesus commanded them. They brought the donkey and the colt, and laid their clothes on them, and set him on them. And a very great multitude spread their clothes on the road. Others cut down branches from the trees and spread them on the road. Then the multitudes who went before and those who followed cried out, saying, Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest! Hey, what's up, Peter? Welcome to the stream. You can ask me some questions, and I'll try to answer. Hey, Freddy. And when he had come into Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? So the multitude said, This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth of Galilee. And he wrote, Sue edits, I know you're here. You don't have to keep saying hi. Jesus cleanses the temple. If you're new here, please comment. Please, again, you don't always have to say hi, but you can always comment. That's alright. I know you're here. Then Jesus went into the temple of God and drove out all those who bought and sold in the temple, overturned the tables of many money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. And he said to them, It is written, My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it to a den of thieves. I'm guessing Jesus was upset or angry at them for making their house a house of prayer because of the money changers that they had in there. And all that stuff. And the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and scribes saw the wonderful things that he did, and the children crying out in the temple and saying, Hosanna to the Son of David, they were indignant. And said to him, Do you hear what these are saying? And Jesus said to them, Yes. Have you never read, Out of the mouth of babes and nursing infants you have perfected praise? Then he left them and went out of the city to Bethany, and he lodged there. The fig tree withered. Now in the morning, as he returned to the city, he was hungry, and seeing a fig tree by the road, he came to it and found nothing on it but leaves. And he said to it, Let no fruit grow on you ever again. Immediately the fig tree withered away. The lessons of the withered fig tree. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, How did the fig tree wither away so soon? So Jesus answered and said to them, Assuredly I say to you, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will not only do what was done to the fig tree, but also if you say to this mountain, Be removed and be cast into the sea, it will be done. And whatever things you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive. Jesus' authority questioned. Now, when he came into the temple, the chief priests and the elders of the people confronted him as he was teaching, and said, By what authority are you doing these things, and who gave you this authority? But Jesus answered and said to them, I also will ask you one thing. which of you tell me? Likewise, will you tell me by what authority I do these things? From sorry, the baptism of John. Where was it from? Where was it from? From heaven or from men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, If we say from heaven, he will say to us, Why then did you not believe him? But if we say from men, we fear the multitude, for all count John as a prophet. So they answered Jesus and said, We do not know. And he said to them, Neither will I tell you what authority I do these things. The parable of the two sons. But what do you think? A man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, Go work today in my vineyard. And he answered and said, I will not. But afterward he regretted it and went. Then he came to the second and said likewise. And he answered and said, I go, sir. But he did not go. Which of the two did the will of his father? They said to him, The first. Jesus said to them, Surely I say to you that tax collectors and harlots enter the kingdom of God before you. For John came to you in the way of righteousness, and you did not believe him. But tax collectors and harlots believed him. And when you saw it, you did not afterwards relent and believe him. The parable of the wicked vine dressers. Hear another parable. There was a certain landowner who planted a vineyard and set a hedge around it, dug a winepress in it, and built a tower. And he leased it into vine dressers, and went into a far country. Now, when vintage time drew near, he sent his servants to the vine dressers that they might receive its fruits. And the wilderness took his servants, beat one, killed one, and stoned another. Again he sent another servants, more than the first, and they did likewise to them. Then last of all he sent his son to them, saying, They will respect my son. But when the vine dressers saw the son, they said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him and seize his inheritance. So they took him and cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, when the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to those vine dressers? They said to him, He will destroy those wicked men miserably and lease his vineyard to other vine dressers, who will render to him the fruits in their seasons. Jesus said to them, Have you never read in the Scriptures, The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Therefore I say to you, the kingdom of God will be taken from you and given to a nation bearing the fruits of it. And whoever falls on the stone will be broken, but on whomever it falls, it will grind him to powder. Now when the chief priests and Pharisees heard his parables, they perceived that he was speaking of them. But when they sought to lay hands on him, they feared the multitudes, because they took him for a prophet. And this is the last one, 22. And yeah, don't forget to comment. The parable of the wedding feast. And Jesus answered and spoke to them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who arranged a marriage for his son, and sent out his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding. And they were not willing to come. Again he sent out other servants, saying, Tell those who are invited, See, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fatted cattle are killed, and all things are ready. Come to the wedding. Yes. Alright, where am I? See that? But they made a light of it, and went their ways, one to his own farm, another to his business, and the rest seized his servants, treated them spitefully, and killed them. But when the king heard about it, he was furious, and he sent out his armies, destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then he said to his servants, The wedding is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore, go into the highways, and as many as you find, invite to the wedding. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all whom they found, both bad and good, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he saw a man there who did not have on a wedding garment. So he said to him, Friend, how did you come in here without a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then the king said to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, take him away, and cast him into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. If you're new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. The Pharisees, is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar? The Pharisees went and plotted how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent to him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Teacher, we know that you are true and teach the way of God in truth. Nor do you care about anyone, for you do not regard the person of men. Tell us, therefore, what do you think? Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, Why do you test me, you hypocrites? Show me a tax money. So they brought him a denarius. And he said to them, Whose image and inscription is this? Then they said to him, Caesar's. And he said to them, Render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. When they heard these words, they marveled, and left him, and went their way. Please like, and please share the stream. Don't forget to comment. I would like to chat too. The Sadducees. What about the resurrection? The same day, the Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moses said that if a man dies having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were with us 7 brothers. The first died after he had married, and having no offspring, left his wife to his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third, and even to the 7th. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife of the 7 will she be? For they all had her. Jesus answered and said to them, You are mistaken, not knowing the Scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry, nor are given in marriage, but are like angels of God in heaven. But concerning the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read what was spoken to you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob? God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. And when the multitudes heard this, they were astonished at his teaching. The scribes, which is the first commandment of all. But when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together. Then one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him, and saying, Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law of the prophets. Sorry about that. Jesus, how can David call his descendant Lord? While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, What do you think about the Christ? Whose son is he? They said to him, The son of David. He said to them, How then does David in the Spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand, till I make your enemies your footstool? If David then calls him Lord, how is he his son? And no one was able to answer him a word, nor from that day on did anyone dare question him any more. Okay, now I'm going to play this handpan now. After reading, I will do this. And for those who missed my Bible reading, you can always rewatch it. Let me know if the sound is okay. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of it. I'm gonna try a happy birthday song on this thing. I'm not sure how good I'll be. Yeah, I'm not good at this. I had a little, this is a little, thing. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Is the sound quality good? Zed Strike, or whatever your name is. Vast Handpan by Unima. Thanks, bro. Means a lot. Hey, guys, can you please comment if this is good sound? Like, is the sound quality good? Here we go. Is that better? That's good. Are you subscribed? Don't forget to subscribe, bro. And please share my channel to as many people as you can. I could really use some help. Oh, thank you, bro. Yeah, sorry, that's the this type. I forgive that. Oh, thank you so much, bro. Thank you for subscribing. Yes, I do other stuff. You can check out my description of the channel. Sorry. Oh, from Kenya. Okay. I'm not really good at. I'm kind of good at geography, but not really. Thank you, bro. And if you know anybody that that has a big following, maybe ask them if they could share my channel too. Because my goal is to spread the gospel on this channel. Like if any of you guys have a friend, or if you have a huge following, because it is for the views and to bring more people to Christ. It's both ways, right? And all that stuff. And I just need support. I don't have any other social media. So basically, these handpan meditation type stuff would be like for those that are maybe struggling out there that need some peace, quiet music like this, or for those who can handle the frequency, or they can use it as a study. Yeah, thank you, bro. And thanks for guys. Thank you guys for 11 likes. Let's get to 12 likes. And it would be nice to get more instruments. I am thinking about learning the guitar one day. Vast handpan. Only $45 for those who are wondering. Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, Jordan, welcome. I'm sorry about that. Let me do that. Don't forget to comment if you want to chat. Hey, bro, what's up? I think one of my favorite melodies is this one. Hey, Michael! Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I went to church today, and we were listening to Genesis 22 on the Abraham sacrificing his son part, and I would say he did a pretty good job. No, no, I can't have any social media apps besides YouTube and texting. But if you can share my channel. It'll help me a lot. Myself, actually. Yeah, pretty much. Does it sound okay? Any crackling sounds, or does it sound good? Yeah, bro. I'm gonna end the stream though. I'm sorry for those who just got here. Thanks for watching. Yeah, sorry, bro. Yeah, sorry about that. I might stream later tonight on World of Tanks. We'll see. Yeah, you too, bro. Well, thanks you guys for watching. Thanks for 15 likes. That means a lot. See you guys later. See you in the next stream. Bye.